So I started comparing my file system, I mean my environment file system with the current file system what we got. Okay, so I could see a difference. I could see the difference, and later, I've realized that ours is, I mean, the one which we have installed is 12.0, and the environment what we got outside in the outside market, and I've checked with a couple of my friends as well. So the what outside people are having is 12.2. Okay. So what I mean after I've done the further analysis, and I've realized that 12.0, I mean after 12.0 there are so many issues has come up, and Arkil immediately they have released, sorry, 12.2. Okay, they have found so many since it's the very beginning of the version. They have faced so many challenges, and Arkle has given 12.2.1, and again so many issues Arkle identified in that version as well, and later they have moved to 12.2.2, which is the stable one. Okay, so now everybody is using 12.2.2, and okay, even I have verified with a couple of my colleagues, my ex-colleagues, and who are working in a different companies. So everywhere I could see 12.2.2. Okay, so there is no point in going with the 12.2.0, to be honest, because of the file system. I mean, only in patching particularly. So the patching format is a little different than 12.2.0 and 12.2.2. Okay, so it's better to go with the 12.2.2. Okay, so what I would do is, I would be contacting. Okay, even yesterday only I have realized this. So apart from this patching, everything is same in 12.2. The majority of changes happened from to 12.2.0 to 12.2.2 is a patching concept. Okay, so there are some, I mean, the environment file changed. Currently, we are sourcing the apps context name.env. In 12.2.0, they have given, okay, there's the patch edition is there, and file edition is there. Both are there. Okay, but when you see for patch edition, there is a different environment. Means under FS1 Apple top, you would be seeing apps context name.env, and FS2 environment, you would be seeing another app's context name.env. So whenever you are using FS1, okay, so you would be sourcing that environment, and whenever you are going for the patching and all, you would be sourcing that environment. Okay, but later, to have to take off this particular confusion and to make it further simple, Oracle started giving an environment called the EBS apps.env. There is a file. It's a consolidated file basically. Okay, and you would be passing the parameter run and patch. So when you source EBS apps.env and the parameter is run edition will be sourced, and EBS apps.env patch edition will be sourced. Okay, so when you are making use of the system, you would be initiating EBS apps.env run, and when you are going for the patching, you would be using EBS apps.env patch parameter. Okay, so that's the one of the major change I have seen, and another one is still 12.2.0. They were using hot patch method. Okay, so I'll tell you what is hot patch. This is there in the 12.2, 12.1 also. This is there. So I'll just after finishing this discussion, I'll explain you what is hard patch. Okay. So still these guys 12.2.0, still these guys are going with the hard patch method, and 12.2.2 they started giving the downtime method. Okay, so it means apply mode is a downtime. Okay, one feature is there, and that they have given. Okay, so see, basically, the main motto of this particular ADOP utility is you can apply the patch when the services are up and running. Okay, with that concept only they have come up with this particular utility. Okay, without bringing, okay, if you bring down your services, when you try to apply the patch, it will not allow you. Okay, it will say the admin server is down. Please bring up the admin server, something like that. So the system need to be up and running to apply these patches. Okay, so this is mainly to avoid the downtime, and the main intention of introducing this ADOP utility is the same thing. Okay, but there are two ways basically. Okay, one way is in the patch edition, source the environment with the patch edition, and run in the prepare mode. Okay, the phase equal to prepare, and then phase equal to apply, and then phase equal to cut over, and then phase equal to clean up, and if anything goes wrong, phase equal to phase equal to abort. Okay, these are the going with the step by step, phase by phase. And when you are doing the cutoff, I mean, the services will, the source of services also will be bringing down, and that will be integrated there. Okay, so that is the one way is follow. Okay, so usually we follow the same way, this way. Okay, but some of the organizations following, like, services will be okay until unless it's a very huge patch, and a very huge patch, and which takes days and days of means 10 hours, 15 hours of downtime. Other than that, we would be applying these patches in the weekend maintenance mode, and we would be I mean, we are allowed to bring down the services. So, what we would be doing is, what people are doing these days. So, for this one-off patches, and okay, the one-off patches in the sense, up to some 20 to 30 MBF of patches. They are bringing down the services. They are applying the patch means they're bringing down the services means they'll be bringing down the run mode means whatever is there in the usage. That services will be bringing down. They'll apply the patch. After applying the patch, there is another feature, and okay, at the time of applying the patch, there are some apply modes. Okay, so if you don't say apply mode equal to, if you don't specify the apply mode, again this ADOP will look for the services, and it will tell like your admin server is down, and please bring up the admin server and then apply the patch. Well, okay, some kind of message you will be giving, and it will not allow you to apply the patch. But here, I mean, in 12.2.2, they have introduced some concept called apply modes, okay, which is a downtime and no downtime. Okay, if you say apply equal to downtime, it will not verify for any of the services. Straight away, it will apply the patch. So what people are doing is, since these are one-off patches and small patches, they're bringing down the services, and it won't take much time, to be honest. Okay, so they're bringing down the services. They're using the apply mode equal to downtime, and they're applying the patch. And then again, later it should sync with the patch edition, right? The change should sync with the patch edition. The fs underscore clone. Okay, there is one feature actually. So when you use that feature, that would be copying. I mean the major changes what and all happen to the FS1, that will be integrated to the patch. This is how some of my friends in the different environments people are using. Okay, so here, the since the complete, I mean, the 90% of outside environments are on 12.2.2, and we must test these downtime, these modes, and we must work with the EBS apps.env, this thing. So now what, I mean, our next step is, I would be speaking with Gulba today, and I'll ask him to prepare the stage of 12.2.2, and immediately we will make sure that we will install that 12.2.2, and then we will do the practice at 12.2.2, which is latest one. All right, I mean, you understood, right? I mean, why I wanted to go to 12.2.2 instead of the current version. Any doubts? Fine. So one more thing you can do, okay, if you want, keep any one machine. Okay, we got three machines, right? 12.2.0, we got three machines. Okay, so we will keep one machine just like that, and we will move 2.2.2 to the other two machines, and one person will should share. Or later also you can do, I mean, you can scrap this machine and you can install one more time. What I would recommend you is, if you got a time, let's keep the 12.2.0 like that, but for that you need to know the complete patching scenarios and cloning scenarios, sysadmin activities, and the other things also you need to be. Once we are about to finish our course, one machine. Okay, I'm not. I mean, I don't need to do in all the machines. In one machine, three guys seated together. You install 2.0. Okay, and find out. I'll give you a document to upgrade 2.0 to 12.2.2, and you can go. I mean, no matter you succeeded or not, at least if you perform that, you will be understanding the whole upgrade procedure. Right. So you can convert to 12.2.0 to 12.2.2. Okay, so I'll provide. I mean, if you guys doesn't have Metalink access and all, and I'll request Gulba to download the necessary patches and all, and the document anyway I will provide you. The step-by-step document I'll find out and I'll provide you. So you can do that practice. That includes, I mean, if you perform the one upgrade, okay, it's not a major upgrade basically. It's a normal minor upgrade only, but still you would be understanding the whole thing, and even in interviews that would help you to say confidently you can say I have done one upgrade. Okay, so in a sense, it's not like 100% you need to succeed. These are the test environments, and a couple of restrictions will be there. But at least if you look into the document, or if you started doing, or if you even if you fail at the end, you will be coming to know the entire procedure. What are the issues you have faced? At least you will be in the position to talk something about the upgrade. So that practice you can do. Okay, so let the software. I mean, we will be keeping the software like that, and then we'll do. What is this? Or please use this machine for the practice. Okay. Okay, you mean when I'm presenting the demo and all, right? You want me to connect this for demo sessions? You say? All right, I can do that. Not a problem. That's fine. I'll see. Okay. So do we have putty or not? Okay, I'll see. Not a problem. I mean, I can do that. So I think this machine is also is a 12.2.0, isn't it? Oh, it's a 12.2. Okay. Then akswave servers are on 12.2. Huh? So all of you guys, the three guys systems are on 12.2 or what? Okay. So, oh, okay. But earlier you said it's a 12.0 to 2.0 you said. So I thought everybody and all. Okay, fine. Okay, so first I have never connected to akswave servers for the verification and all. So I have noted down your page. Thanks for providing the detail. Okay, I'll connect it to this, and I'll see. I'll just go through it once, and yep, we'll do the patch demo on your system straight away. No, no, no. No, I think you guys are a little confusing. It should be okay. Even I'm having in my VM machine, I'm having 12.2.0. What I am expecting is 12.2.2. So we are all working on, I mean, the entire our training and all going on 12.2.0 only, 12.2 and further versions only. So in 12.2.2, there are some changes, okay, to the patch, particularly to the patch. So that is what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, I understood now. What do you mean? So yep, today I'll work with Gulba, and I'll cross verify. Okay, I'll connect it to your machine, and I'll cross verify exactly the version we got, and if definitely it should be 12.2.0 only. as I remember as per my previous conversation with Gulba. But I'll ask him to download the 12.2.2 straight away, I mean, on priority, and we will build the 12.2.2 systems, and then we will continue. It will take another 1 or 2 days maximum. Prerequisites, everything is same. I mean, nothing, no change at all. Yes, so only thing is just grab this machine and use the rapid visual utility one more time. That's all. Another 2 to 3 hours it will take. That's the only difference. You understood, right? I mean, what I mean. All right. Okay. So if you want, I'll keep anyway. I'm going to keep my 12.2.0 as it is. So once we are done with the 12.2.2, so I'll show you the difference. Okay, you will be understanding. I'll connect it to my machine, and I'll connect it to your machine, and I'll show what difference I found and what are the advantages, what are the features they added for ADOP in 12.2.2. Okay, I'll show you while we are practicing. You will be understanding. All right. So yeah, I mean, I was talking about hot patch method, right? So basically, this hot patch method, they introduced it in 12.1. Okay, not even 12.1. I mean, even before that, also in 12, 11.5.10 onwards, they introduced a hot patch method. Okay, so this is also to cut down the downtime. Basically, this is not, initially they have come up with see 12 since 12 11.5.10. Oracle is working on minimizing the downtime. Okay, while performing patching and all, some of the patches it takes 30 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, something like that. The maintenance patches. So Oracle doesn't. I mean, this is a business. I mean, again, I mean that is the case. 30 hours means almost 1 hour. Sorry, 1 day plus. And again, prerequisite, post-requisite, blah 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 will be there anyway for that another half day. So when you go for the maintenance pad means version upgrade to another version upgrade. Okay. So Oracle thought like this downtime at any cost need to be reduced and need to be cut short. So that is the reason in 11.5.10 onwards, okay, till 12.1, okay. So they have come up with one concept called maintenance mode, okay. So it's mandatory from 11.5.10 onwards, if you want to apply a patch, it is mandatory to enable the maintenance mode, apply the patch, and then disable the maintenance mode. Okay, that's how it will be. So that is enabling the maintenance mode, disabling the maintenance mode is a part of AD18 utility. Okay, now we are seeing 4 plus 1 exit, right? And there you would be seeing 5 plus 1 exit. One more feature is there in 11.5.10 to 12.1. Okay, so that feature is enable maintenance mode. Okay, so when you choose that fifth option, you'll be seeing enable maintenance mode and disable maintenance mode, two options. Okay, when you enable the maintenance mode, it will restrict the users. Okay, as the end users means they can log in. Okay, once you enable the maintenance mode, they will be logging into the application with their username and password. But when they log in inside, they won't be seeing any of their responsibility. See, basically, we know, right? Whenever I mean, for each and every user, it will have their own responsibilities, and when they click on the responsibility right side, you would be seeing the menus and submenus, right? So here, in this case, when you enable the maintenance mode, and in maintenance mode, if anybody logged in, they can't see any of the responsibility. Left side, I mean, all the responsibility will be hidden, and when you got no responsibility, there is no point, there is no way to get the menus and submenus also. Okay, so they can't perform anything. They can't perform any business activity and all, and that's how these guys started restricting the users. They thought of restricting the users. Okay, so the procedure will be in till 12.1. The procedure will be okay. Enable the main. Okay, Oracle suggested procedure will be okay. It's not like people the people using procedure. Okay, so Oracle suggested procedure will be enable the maintenance mode. You don't need to bring down. Okay, as per Oracle, you don't need to bring down the services. Okay, so enable the maintenance mode, apply the patch, disable the maintenance mode, and use your work. So that There is no concept of bringing down the services, bringing up the services. That's how Oracle imagined and Oracle introduced this particular concept. Okay, but when we started using, there is a bug in maintenance mode. Okay, which Oracle couldn't able to resolve that bug. The bug is, you enable the maintenance mode, apply the patch, or does whatever you want. And when you disable the maintenance mode, it should disable the maintenance mode and it should release all your responsibilities, in the sense all the user responsibilities. But it is not releasing. Okay, though you disable the maintenance mode, still it is. I mean, sometimes it is saying the page cannot be displayed. Sometimes it is there is a proxy, some browser issue related, something, some issues. It is. I mean, browser side you would be seeing some issues, but you won't be seeing your responsibilities back. So for that again, you need to bounce the Apache server. So whenever you enable the maintenance mode and disable the maintenance mode, okay, it become like it is mandatory to bounce the Apache server. So anyway, you are touching the services, right? Bringing up and bringing down. So the actual meaning got lost. Okay, so we started doing, like, we are bringing down the services anyway. We are bringing down the services means we are enabling the maintenance mode, bringing down the services, applying the patch, disabling the maintenance mode, and bringing up the services. Okay, so here you may think, like, then when you are bringing down the services and bringing up the services, why now? Why you are not? I mean, why to enable the maintenance mode and disable the maintenance mode? Anyway, users won't be, when you bring down the services, users won't be connecting, isn't it? So you may get that doubt. Okay. So here the problem is Oracle made and enabling the maintenance mode is mandatory for patching. And that means when you are applying the patch, the patch will be verifying whether the system is in maintenance mode or not. It won't verify whether your system is down or up and running. Okay, it will be verifying whether your system is in maintenance mode or not. So when the system is in maintenance mode and you try to apply the patch, it will throw an error and will come out saying that your system is in a maintenance mode. Bring down the maintenance mode I mean, bring down the maintenance mode and then apply the patch policy. Okay, it will give that error. So no matter your services are up and running or down, okay, but Oracle specifically look for enabling the maintenance. I mean, the maintenance mode status. Accordingly, once it identified the maintenance mode is down, okay, the maintenance mode is disabled, then only it would go and apply the patch. Okay, so it become extra burden to the database administrator, and many service requests are raised, and probably because of that reason only Oracle started. I mean, they have given, they tried their best to resolve the Apache issue and all in maintenance mode, and somehow I think they have given up and they come up with a totally different concept. Okay, so till 12.1, just keep it in your mind. Till 12.1, okay, your action plan would be, okay, pre-patch analysis, performing the pre-patch analysis, identifying the single node or multi-node, identifying the shared Apple top or not, what is the version of your application, what is the version of your database, accordingly downloading the patch and accordingly going through the readme.txt and preparing the action plan. Everything is same everywhere. Okay, no matter it's 11i or 12. Okay, so that part I'm not writing here. Okay, I'm saying once you are ready to apply the patch, okay, so enable maintenance mode using AD admin utility, bring down the application, apply patch, bring up the application. Okay, so this is the structure you need to follow. Okay, so again, the same structure, but if it is a multi-node, again and again, you don't need to do. If the maintenance mode is totally linked with the database. So once you enable the maintenance mode, that's applicable to the entire system. So I mean, you don't need to use your AD admin utility on each and every application node. If you got multi-node installation, you don't need to log into the each and every application node and enabling the maintenance mode. Once you and this maintenance mode is totally belongs to the instance, okay, not to the individual application nodes. So When you enable the maintenance mode, that will be applicable to all the entire instance. I mean, no matter how many nodes you got, how many application nodes you got. So enable the maintenance mode, but you need to bring down the services in all the machines. If you got a multi-node installation, yeah, you need to bring down the services in all the machines. And there are some things. Okay, maybe I'm telling this now. So, okay, there are certain things are there. Okay, in the application to minimize the downtime till 12.1. Okay, to minimize the downtime, you can do couple of things. See, when you're applying the patch, straight away it would be going and applying on that. Okay, database portion at least. Okay, application portion. Let's say if it is not a shared application portion that will be applicable to that particular environment, and you need to apply that patch on all the nodes. Okay, so to sync with the complete thing. But the database side, when you apply the patch on first node, those the database activities and all will be applying on database, right? So you went to the second node and you started applying the patch. Again, the database node that will be connecting to the all the applications, all the application nodes will be connecting to the same database. So from the second node, again it will try to connect to the database and it will try to perform. And the third node, fourth node, fifth node, no matter how many nodes you got, everybody will be pointing to the database node only, right? So anyway, some of the, I mean, once as per our AD patch or with the patching scenarios, once it sees that it is up to date, it will not do anything. Okay, but some of the things it will override, but majority of the things it will not do anything. But still, it is connecting to the database server. It will be verifying the versions and all, and taking the decision and coming back. So for that also, it will take little time, isn't it? So to avoid that, I mean, to save that particular time, there are some options called. Okay, there are some options called no DB portion, no copy portion, no generate portion. Okay, three options are there. See, when you got C drive, okay, let's say if you get the CDZ drivers in your patch and you download the patch, if you see three driver files, okay. So in the first node, you would be applying C drive first and then D drive and G drive. Second node, you would be applying C drive and G drive only. Third node also C drive and G drive, and fourth node also C drive and G drive. Like that, you would be going. So since these drivers are independent and you are having, you are having a grip to continue, I mean, to control this CDC. Okay, but if you got U drive, so when you are applying the patch, you have to provide this U drive, right? This U drive contains the copy portion, database portion, and generate portions. Okay. So in this case, how do you control these things and all? Okay. So that is with these options. So you will be providing a U drive first in first node. You will apply the patch as it is. In the second node, okay. So AD patch options equal to no DB portion. When you say this, it will simply, I mean, it will simply ignore the database portions and it will first it will take care of the copy portion and then straight away it will take care of the generate portion. It will not do. Okay, so it will save little time. It will save some of your time. Okay, so when you are going the multi-node installation and when you are applying the patch, it saves little time. You clear, right? Right. So now coming to the hot patch. So this hot patch is, as I said, once you enable the maintenance, I mean, you have to enable the maintenance mode before applying the patch. Okay, and if you enable the maintenance mode and at the time of after disabling the maintenance mode, we got some bug and we have to bounce the Apache server. That's mandatory. Okay, so let's say it's a 2 KB patch or 3 KB patch. You don't have any intention to bounce the application. If you thought of applying the patch when it is up and running. Okay, so you just analyzed and you did all the R&D and all, and you decided yes, you can go and apply on the patch when the services are up and running. But your AD patch utility, he won't allow you to apply the patch, isn't it? Okay, he won't allow you to apply the patch without enabling the maintenance mode, right? So If you want to apply the patch without enabling the maintenance mode, there is a feature called hot patch. Okay, so you need to provide this in like this. So if you say hot patch, okay, options equal to hot patch, then it will just apply the patch without verifying whether it is maintenance mode enabled or not. It will not verify at all. Straight away it will go and apply. This is the hot patch method. Okay, the same thing in 12.2 also. There is a hot patch equal to y. Okay, there is a feature. Okay, so they have given that feature, and with that feature, so without it will not see. Here is the other way around. Basically, at the time of applying the patch, it will be verifying the services, right? It been server enabled or not, and all. So when you use hot patch, it won't be verifying any of the services and all, and straight away it should go and apply the patch. So 12.2.0 and 12.2.1, okay, they asked us to use hot patch method, and still they found some of the issues, and they have totally taken off the hot patch feature, and they have come up with the apply mode feature. So apply mode equal to enable, and apply mode equal to downtime and no downtime feature they have introduced, and so many issues got fixed, and that's going very well, and everybody now everybody is using that feature. So clear, right? The major difference between the patch wise, particularly. Okay, you won't be seeing much difference in the services, bringing up the services, EAD utilities usage, auto config use, auto config, and even in cloning also, you won't be seeing much difference. And the sysadmin, you will not see difference at all. Okay, the only the this 12.2.0 to 12.2.2, you would be seeing the major difference in EAD patch, means the applying the patch and the using the features. Okay, 12.2.0 conceptually, if you know, that's more than enough, because there is no system is running on 12.2.0 these days. Okay, so conceptually we are okay. Now we will be moving to the 12.2.2 and then apply the patch. Okay, I'll work on that. I'll work on that particular system, and I'll make sure by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll make sure your system is ready. Okay, yeah. And yeah, anyway, we started discussing about these options, right? Through context file, any other way to know how to know the WebLogic URL through context file. Context file, the major one is context file, or there is a way to get in the profiles. Okay, there are some tables. Okay, fnd underscore profile underscore values and the profile underscore options. Some profile tables are there. Okay, if you say select name from tab where name like f fnd percentage. If you execute this skill statement, you would be seeing the profile tables. Okay, so through that you can find out, and through in the profiles also it will be copying the XML file information that will be copied in the profile, so you can get the URL from profile also. But again, connecting to it's easy to get it from the context file. Otherwise, again, you need to connect to the database, verifying it, and okay. So basically, this WebLogic URL, it's a normal the port number. First, you need to identify the WebLogic port number from XML file. Okay, and then your host name or domain name colon like this colon WebLogic port. Okay, this WebLogic port you can get from the context file. Okay, / console. If you give, you would be getting. So WebLogic port / console. If you give, you don't need to go to XML file, or you don't need to go to the profile file and all. And simply you just remember this WebLogic port / console. Bolete, you will get the WebLogic server username and all. I mean, WebLogic server page and all, and WebLogic is the username and password would be, at the time of bringing up and bringing down, you would be providing, right? The same password you need to provide, okay? So once you are done with that, you will be entering into the WebLogic stuff. You try once. I mean, you would be understanding. Okay, all the features, what and all features you see in the standalone WebLogic, everything you would be seeing here. In fact, sometimes we will be logging into the as part of maintenance. We will be logging into the WebLogic console and we will be performing some of the configuration changes. For example, apps password change. So till 12.2.1, if you say FNDC pass utility apps, I mean your apps old username, apps slash apps old password and the system password, and you'd be providing the new password. Once if you do that, that's more than enough. That's all till that version. Okay, but 12.2 onwards, Oracle, since Oracle started using WebLogic server, in WebLogic server there is one parameter where apps password will be hard coded. Okay, I'll give you that action plan to you. Okay, so you can try it out. So the WebLogic password, I mean, in the WebLogic configuration, apps password would be hard coded. So you need to go to that location. So that now you need to navigate. Means first you need to get the WebLogic port number, and then by using the console URL, you will be fetching that page, and then WebLogic and the WebLogic admin password you would be providing, and then inside that there is a navigation you need to go. In that navigation, you would be providing the apps password, hard coded. Okay, you will give the apps password there, and you will apply the changes, settings, changes and all, and then only the apps password change action plan completed. Okay, so so it's even if you are in 12.2, okay, you just make sure, I mean, in 12 up 12, you need to make sure that when you are changing the apps password, you are in 12.1 or 12.2. Okay, accordingly, this maintenance will get changed. So you just you keep it in when if you are using a WebLogic server as a application server, then you have to do this. Okay, so something like a couple of times as part of patching or as part of any technology stack changes or as part of any technology stack patching, okay, or CPU patching, Oracle, I mean, the action plan may demand you to log into the WebLogic server console and perform some activities. Okay, so if you really wanted to know, yes, you can get it from the XML file or you can get it from the profiles. Profiles is the accurate one basically. That every time people will be suggesting that, and the time of sysadmin, I will provide you some of the queries to fetch the from the back end how to fetch the information that I will provide you at the time of sysadmin. All right, okay, fine. So anyway, I mean, for patching also a couple of queries I will provide you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we were talking about no options, right? So CDG, okay, take off. I mean, okay, so you don't need to worry. So you would be getting U driver only. So with U driver, if by any chance, if you really want it, okay, let's say Oracle, I mean, the action plan will recommend you to ignore the copy portion. So you can say no DB portion. Instead of no DB portion, you can say no copy portion and no generate portion. So when you say no copy portion, in when you are applying the patch in the U drive, the copy portion will be disabled. Okay, and generate portion will be disabled if you use this. And no database portion. Usually you will be using database portion only, and copy portion and generate portion should be executed on every environment. Okay, just since there is an option, I'm just telling you. All right. So like this, and as I said, please hang on. Please hang on. Sorry, guys. I think my son got up Sunday, right? So he just got up and banging the door. All right. Okay. So these are the options we got in. If you want to ignore the, by any chance, your action plan demand you to ignore the copy portion, you can use this, and no generate portion, no DB portion. Usually we use the DB portion only. Okay. So hard patch, as I said, it won't be verifying whether your system is in enabled maintenance mode or not. Okay. So apart from this, actually, whenever you apply the patch, even in Apple, I mean in the current version also, okay, it would be running the auto config automatically. Okay, and the patch itself will run the auto config. By any chance, if you want to ignore that portion, okay, so you can say no. There is one option called no auto config. Okay, and another option is no validate. It won't be verifying no, it won't be okay. See, usually patch will be compiling, validating the apps schema and compiling the apps schema by default. Okay, so if you say no validate, it will not validate the apps schema. Okay, there is another feature called no compile db. Okay, so it will not it will not compile the apps schema. So these and all you need to do manually by after coming out. You need to enable, okay, this one you can do with one utility ad auto config data set. Okay, this one through ad admin utility you can do. Okay, so this one through ad admin utility again, compiling the apps schema. Okay, this you can do. Okay, next what else, compile db, no validate, generate. And one more thing is force equal to y. Okay, there is another feature. Okay, that one, if the patch is already applied. Okay, suppose your patch is applied, and if you want to reapply the patch, okay, so you know that your patch is already applied, but still you wanted to apply one more time. Okay, so usually, it will be verifying. It will be verifying the snapshot tables and all before applying the patch itself. It will verify the snapshot tables and all, and it will, once it sees that the snapshot table contain this patch number, it will ignore. Okay, so it will say get lost. So the patch is already applied, so and okay, it will just come out. So if you want to forcefully apply, you can say force equal to y. It will not verify any of the prerequisites and all, and straight away it will go and apply, though the patch is already applied. So this is the one of the options regularly. There are so many options basically. So these are the options regularly used. Okay. Yeah. So these options, you would be deciding at the time of patching itself by seeing the patch behavior, and you will be understanding for what purpose you are applying the patch, and accordingly you will take this decision. Okay, it's not like it's mandatory to use these features for each and every patch, and it's not like you shouldn't use these features, these options for your patch. And it's all that time you will be deciding. Sometimes you yourself will be deciding by seeing the issue and by seeing the patch, by seeing the patch. Read the text you will be deciding, and sometimes Oracle recommend you to use these options. All right. Okay, so these things and all, how do we do in the 12.2 would be seeing at the time of applying. Okay, so I'll be explaining you. Okay, this since we are not doing any practice on this particular thing, I'm just given this. Okay, so once we are ready with the 12.2.2, when we are performing, I'll show you how to. Here also sometimes you may need to ignore, right? You may need to ignore the DB portion, and also for that a couple of things drastically change, a couple of things slightly change. So that and all we will discuss. Anyway, we have after finishing the patching, we got one more topic actually. Okay, so in that topic we will be discussing about the front end. How do you verify, and the how the analysis, the pre-patch analysis will be happened from the front end. For that, there is another topic. So after performing after applying a couple of one or two patches, we would be discussing about that also, because that is linked with the practice also. That's the reason I'm not jumping into that particular chapter. All right, we will see that. Okay, so that's all about the patching, and still yes, two more things are required. Okay, so post patch discussion and applying the patch. Okay, so For now, what I'm thinking is anyway, it will take 1 or 2 days time to ready with the 12.2.2 system. Okay, so my question is, should we move to the next topic and start discussing, or should we wait till we finish the patch? There is no link with the patching. So the next topic is cloning, actually. So the cloning and all, there is no link to anything linked to the patching. It's not like we can't understand the cloning procedure since we didn't complete it. So it's a totally independent. So meantime, why to waste 2 days of time? Okay, by worst case, if we take one more day, unnecessary waste of 3 days, 2 3 days. So parallelly, we can discuss about the cloning and all. And once we are done with the patching this and all, and straight away we can start cloning also, cloning practice also. Yeah, more is fine. So Teja, it's fine, right? Thank you, thank you. So today I'll give you the thought of finishing the topic since our patch topic got extended. So we may not spend much time on cloning today. Okay, but I'll see. The cloning is okay, you know very well. Again, the cloning is nothing but preparing the identical copy of an existing system. So, on what scenarios we would be preparing the identical copy? Mostly for the testing purpose, testing for the test environments and all, and some of the pre-prod environments, and for that and all, we need a cloning. Okay, so how frequently we would be do the cloning? Okay, so there is no standard cycle to perform the cloning basically. Okay, so whenever it is required, we would be doing the cloning. Whenever we feel we need a latest dump from the production, you would be doing the cloning. Sometimes you would be doing only application clone. Sometimes you will be doing the complete clone. Sometimes you will be refreshing only database. So it all depends on the situation basically. Okay. For example, let's say you got a 1 month old production machine. Okay, in your environment. Okay. So production got some issue at the database side. Okay, the file system side nothing has happened, you know very well. Okay, so file system side in the production nothing has happened, and here also nothing has happened. Only database related issue you are getting, means because of the data you are seeing the issue. Okay, so that need to be replicated in the non-production instance. So in this case, if you just refresh the database, that is more than enough, right? You don't need to the entire cloning method. Okay, so you know very well that database, and database is the only change. In the application side, there is no change at all. So in that case, what I would be doing is I'll download the, I'll initiate the backup, the production, okay, and I'll copy the file system to the non-production instance, and I will clone the only database part. Okay, I'll just refresh the database. So and comes couple of once you refresh, the couple of steps will be there, and those steps I will be performing, and I'll save little time. Okay, I'll quickly I can do that. Okay. So and another scenario, sometimes the database, nothing wrong with the database part, and only form is not working, or any of the functionality giving some issue. Okay. So during that particular time, instead of doing the complete database thing and all, I just clone the application part. Okay. So sometimes you need to do the whole clone procedure. It's all again depends on the situation, depends on the requirement at that particular point of time. You'd be taking the decision. So once you know the complete cycle, okay, so cloning the database, cloning the application, prerequisite, post requisites, and this and all, if you know, and then anything you can do. You can either do only database clone, or either you can do only application clone. You can take the decision. So we would be doing the entire cycle, okay, from right from the beginning and until the post clone method. We'll be doing this, okay. So the cloning, as I said, is I preparing the identical copy of an copy of the source system, okay. So three different systems will be there normally, okay. One is a dev environment, and one is can't we do DB absolute together, or have to differently? You mean at a time? You say all at once? No, 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 no. You can't do that. First, we need to. See, there is a step, there is a sequence basically. Okay, first you will be cloning the database need to be cloned first. On top of that, application need to be cloned. It's not like in a single shot you would be doing database and application at a time. Okay, there are some people, and I can see in my previous environment also. I mean, it's not previous to previous when I was in Oracle. There is one reporting system we got. Every day it should be cloned. Okay, so sitting in front of the machine every day and working is very difficult, isn't it? Okay, it's every day a clone need to be happened. Means that's reporting system and the data should be identical basically, and the application side that particular e-business system, they won't be performing any of the transactions. They would be fetching the data only. Okay, so for that, this cloning, the entire cloning method, some of the developers, they wrote some Perl scripts and all, and with the Perl script and the shell script combination, they automated completely, and the bringing up the services, bringing down the services, performing the taking the backup of. Backup of the database and copying the file system, everything automated. It would take 4 hours time every day. Okay, so that is the one way. It's not like 100% it is not possible, but logically as per the process, it is not possible. Okay, so there also, in the single shot it is going, but not through Oracle method. Okay, so they have designed and they have the customer initiated one kind of procedure. First there also the script, the shell script will be doing the source, database clone first, and then application clone next. You can automate it if you want it. Really, you want to do everything in a single go, you can automate it and you can go. Okay, but the procedure is clone the database and then clone the application. The clear, right? So there are different scenarios basically. Okay, that's single to single clone. Okay, single node to single node clone, single node to multi node clone, multi node to single node clone, and multi to multi clone. Okay, all these are possible here in e-business suite. All these options are possible. Okay, so single to single node is something, but it's a normal clone. Single to multi is nothing but adding a new node. Okay, it's something like adding a new node. So single node machine you are making as a multi node machine. Okay, so that also should go with the cloning procedure only. Okay, so multi-node to single node clone, it's something like merging the apple top, merging the system. Okay, merging the apple top. So that is also possible. Again, the same clone method with a different scenario. Some steps will be, some extra steps will be there, and some options will need to be changed, and that's okay. Next, multi to multi clone, that is also possible. So these are the different types of clones are available. Okay, so here we would be seeing the single to single clone only, and I would be giving you some of the documents to add a node and to merge. Even till now I have not done actually. Okay, so logically I know, or like conceptually I know merge, but we would be doing single to single and multi to multi in real time mostly, and single to multi, no, you never be doing, but it's just something like adding a new node to that, and I'll see. Like I should be having some of the documents, and I can provide you those documents related to that. Okay, as a practice, we would be doing single to single. Okay, the complete cycle we would be doing from the beginning to end. Okay, so here, the clone method will be first preparing the source machine, and then performing the copy, and preparing the target machine, and then note it down. Okay. So here, before single to single, single to multi, multi to single, multi to multi. These are the Okay. Next, cloning method. Prepare source system, perform copy target system for perform post processing. Okay, high level steps these are. So you need to prepare the source system. Okay, preparing the source system very first time you would see more steps, but next time onwards, there are some one time activities are there. Okay, for your instance. So apart from that, preparing the source system every time you would be doing only one step. Okay, so that also I'll tell you. Okay, at the time of practice I'll explain you what exactly it is. Next, performing copy, it is mandatory. So preparing the copy and performing the copy, you can say. Next, yeah, I'll add that one as well. Okay, preparing the copy in the sense, you need to prepare the database separately, application application separately. Because database will be up and running, and the production copy you will be taking, right, for to take them in, you should take the database copy when it is up and running. Okay, so it's rman obviously. So rman hot method will be there, right? By using that you will be online backup. It is online, so you'd be taking the complete backup, okay, by using rman when it is up and running. And application, anyway, it's a file system, you don't need to worry. Straight away you can use zip method, and also Hotman. You will be using Hotman all the time. Okay, and this will be either tar or zip. Usually it will be tar. Okay, perform copy is nothing but copying the source system from copying that backup from source system to the target system. Okay, so preparing the target machine. Yes, so there is a method to do the preparing. I mean, to configure the target machine with the backups and all. Okay. Next, so preparing the target system. Fine. Let me make it more clear. Preparing the target database first. Prepare the target application. Okay, because this is a mandatory. So before working on the application, before preparing this configuring, you can say, before configuring the application, you need to your database need to be up and running. Okay, so sort of prepare better I click configure. Database configuration is mandatory, so that need to be that the database configuration should be completed successfully. Then only you can configure the target application machine. Okay, so once you configure the application machine, you need to perform the post clone steps. Okay, there are so many steps basically. It's the environment to environment, these are all changes. Some of the post clone steps you would be doing is cleaning up the cleaning up the appended underscore nodes. We just practice it, right? That you would be doing. Okay, so DB links. Okay, if you got any DB links is normally, if you see the database path and all, the DB link, the path place, you'll be seeing all the database related, production paths and all. Okay, that need to be updated. Okay, next we generate JSP, we generate just change passwords. Actually, this need to be first change passwords. Okay. Next, verify profiles. Okay. Usually, when you are configuring the target machine, automatically profiles will get updated, but not all the profiles. Some of the profiles are still pointed to the production. So that need to be updated manually. There are some update statements I got. I can provide you, and you can, or you can, if you are very good in PLSQL or SQL, you can write your own file. But I can provide you those statements, not a problem. Okay. So verifying the profiles. Okay, none of the profiles should point to production. Okay, so production machine detail shouldn't be in the profile table, and the production machine related URLs or domains, shouldn't be in the profile table. Okay, that need to be revalidated here. Okay, so apart these are the mandatory things. What else? I'll be updating the profiles of the running data config actually. Anyway, this you will be doing as part of cleaning up F&E nodes. You would be running autoconfig, but at the end also it's better to run autoconfig. Okay, profile update. Yeah, most these are the, and if any custom changes are there for custom application, you need to take care of them. It's again environment which vary. Okay, these are the mandatory post clone steps. Okay, so in any environment you have to do these. Okay, but these custom changes and any other further things are there. That specific to environment, those things need to be taken care. Okay, so those and all you will be getting as part of your documentation. So the clone documentation, where the first time you ever writing the clone document, so straight away you won't be using the Archil meta note document. Okay, from there the concept only people will be taking, and every company will have their own strategy, like a couple of things they will change. You see, in the Archil side, if you see the taking the backup and all, even the one which you are going to perform is a cold backup. Okay, so if we bring in the database, we have feasibility. That feasibility is there. So we'll bring down the database completely, and we will copy the file system to the target machine, and we will be doing. Okay. But normally, and the customer point of view, okay, so to take the backup, it may take 3 4 hours time. So to take the backup, nobody will be agree to bring down the services. Okay. So this taking the backup in the production shouldn't be touched any cost. Okay. So none of the operation you will be performing on the production. See, as I said, preparing the source system steps, some of the steps are there, but those and all, once in a while activity, and those activities never disturb the services. Okay, production services. I mean, this you will be doing on the production machine. Okay, so and a couple of things when you need to apply some patches, you need to make sure your auto config is up to date or not. You need to apply the patches and running the auto config, the maintenance. Doing some maintenance, updating the snapshot. Sorry, updating the snapshot. These and all need to be there, need to be executed on the source, but this should be one-time activity. One time, if you perform, that will be applicable to, unless you feel like your any of the major changes happen to the source machine. Otherwise you won't be doing anything. Okay, straight away you will start taking the backup and you will start performing the copy and further things you would be doing. Okay, so then in this topic, when we were discussing, I'll explain you like what are the prerequisites in the preparing the source system very first time, what and all the things need to be performed and all, I'll explain you. So that, as I said, it's a once in a while activity. Okay, so next to this and all, anyway, you have to perform, and some more steps will be added as per the environment. Okay, so here we would be using, there is a feature called rapid clone, like rapid which utility to install your e-business suite. There is another utility called rapid clone. Okay, that's the utility that with the help of that utility we would be doing. Okay, this guy is intelligent enough to identify, like I mean, at the time of preparing the rapid clone, I mean, source side, when you are preparing the source system, this rapid clone utility will be there, and the target configuring the target system, there is another utility. It is purely developed in Perl. So for preparing the source mission, there will be one Perl script called adpreclone.pl. Okay, and preparing the target system, there is one script called adcfg clone.pl. Okay, So these scripts will be executed, and most of the things it will be taken care, and except some of the manual changes or manual updates. Rest of the things it will be taken care. Rapid clone will be taken care. Okay, so you understood, right, the overview of the cloning. Okay, so how we would be doing, and what scenarios you would be performing the clone under. So tomorrow we will discuss in detail about what is the, so I mean, preparing the source system, matlab what and what are the steps you need to perform here, and preparing, I mean, preparing the copy and performing the copy, how you would be doing in the production, means in the real time environment. This is normally, I mean, taking the backup means zip it and copy it and extract it. Okay, that's the simple. Normally, if you see the book, but in the real time, some people will be doing in a different way. So for me, in my previous environment, the current no previous environment, it is a bit little different. There won't be any connectivity between source and I mean, sorry, and the production machine and non-production machines. In the current environment, there is a connectivity. We got one common mount point, and there we can shift to the file system and all. But when I was in UK, the DWP is one of the very what you call secured environment, basically the Department of Works and Pensions, which got the government details of expenses. Every day how much government is spending, and some of the criminal database, the Ministry of Justice board, there is another environment is there, and the criminal database, very highly secured system. So there won't be any connectivity between source machine, source network and the target network. They're completely different they are. Okay, but I need to copy the machine. I need to copy the source file system to the target file system whenever it is required, in the sense whenever I go for cloning, right? So for that, one what you call hidden mount point will be there. Okay, so that particular point of time, I need to raise a service request to the production people. So the production side, one network administrator will be there, and that mount point, first that would be always to the target machine, and they will detach to the target machine and put it in the source machine, means in the production machine. I'll copy whatever I want to that particular mount, and they will again detach that, and they will the that folder mount, they will detach in the production machine, and they will attach it to this, and so that I can see that. So there is a the sequence of steps are there. It's a bit critical and complex also, and that's not my headache, to be honest. The network administrators will be the my side, a network administrator will be there. I mean, production side, the set of team will be there, and development side, my side, set of development network people will be there, and they work together, and they'll make sure that so the copy will be present in the target machine. Okay, so that's maybe rare cases, these kind of things. Normally, the most of some 70 to 80, not even 80, 90%, there will be some connectivity between production and the non-production machines. So I'm just saying one of the rarest conditions. So you may, don't need to surprise, you may face these kind of challenges also. Okay. So yeah, I mean, performing copy again. As I said, it varies from environment to environment. Okay, so the entire clone method, the common to each and every environment is configuring the target machine using the rapid CFG clone dot PL script. The what do you call the parameters you would be providing to the CFG clone, and these and all very common. Apart from that, many of the things will change from one environment, one customer to another customer. You getting me right? Okay, we'll see at the time of discussing, so how the document is saying and how my environment I will be doing. Okay, so then and there itself I'll explain you. You'll have some idea. All right. So let's start the actual cloning document and steps. So describe the solution that may require the cloning details in the phases of the cloning process. Perform the steps within the each phase and refresh the target database. Clone the multi-node machine. So there are some like what and all things need to be taken care, and the prerequisites are what. I mean, and in the source machine, what and all major things need to be taken care. Okay, so though it is a one-time activity, which we must know. Okay, so So if you are this one-time activity, I'm saying that you may do if you go for any implementation. If you go as an implementation database administrator, if you are implementing any of the system, okay, that from the scratch, that point of time, a couple of things need to be executed. Okay, but if you are going as a support, okay, all these things will be many of the things will be already in place, and that point of time from where you need to start, and I'll give the differences between implementation DB and support DB cloning method. I'll give you the when we discuss about the slides and all there and there itself. I'll give you. All right. So tomorrow at the same time we will meet and we'll discuss more details about the cloning. All right. Sure. Fine. Have a nice weekend. It's already one day over. Have a nice Sunday. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.